Good morning, it's Friday, January 27th, 2023. Starting the video a little late. Not very, very late, just a couple of seconds. Literally, oh, the light's not on. Literally just a couple more steps down the road. Not a lot of content. I'm, slight cough. Loss of appetite. Organs leaking vital fluids. No, I'm fine. On my way to work. This one's going to be bad. I may just sit here in silence for an hour and a half. A lot of stuff I want to talk about. A lot of stuff people talk to me about at work that I'd love to give a platform here, but ill-equipped. Don't care about the subjects they were talking to me about at all. It's basically one of those things where they just want to love these people to death, but they just want to let you know how ignorant you are on these topics, and I don't care that I'm ignorant on these topics. It's some of these conversations are just traps. Stuff that's in the news. I don't follow the news for exactly this reason. I don't have an opinion, and I don't want to have an opinion about certain things, and I don't want to fall into these traps where people lure you in and they give you bait, and of course you regurgitate what you know from what you've seen in the news, and they tell you, well, that's not true. Like, okay, I didn't want to talk about this to begin with. I don't care that it's true or not true. I don't care about the topic at all. So yeah, thank you for pointing out that I'm misinformed. I don't know what research you've done that makes you so much more informed than I am, but again, I don't care. So all of that out of the way. That could have been an hour and a half TED Talk on its own, but I refuse to put any wind in that sail. So there you go. As always, I'm tired, but although I'm tired, I did get out on time. Like, I'm actually on the road when I wanted to be on the road. I have no idea what that nonsense was yesterday. I must have taken a jump to the left and then a step to the right with my hands on my hips. Anyway, I have no idea what happened yesterday, but today I am moving along swimmingly, except for this car in front of me that's doing say the speed limit. But fair warning, this is going to be at least an hour and 20 minutes. There's going to be very little content at some point. I'm probably just going to stop talking. I'm going to turn the air conditioner down. I'm really tired. I would have liked to call out today, but it's still January, and I don't want to burn any of my personal vacation or sick days. I'm not really sick. I'm just a little under the weather. Like I've got this tickle in my throat that I've had for about a week. It's worse in the mornings. I have a slight headache, a dry throat, but I'm also through. I'll be fine once I have coffee. My new spot gave me free coffee yesterday morning. This is the morning video. So yesterday, if you watched yesterday's video, you saw me score some free coffee from McDonald's, and then go on about it forever. Why are you giving me free coffee? What's wrong with it? This isn't right. Can't, like, anything good happens to you, don't trust it. It's something bad in disguise. I still haven't figured out what the bad side of free coffee was, but something bad's going to happen. So I've had to tickle my throat. I'm very tired. Like I said, I'm not actually ill. I don't feel any worse than I normally feel. I'm old now, and we just accept, as a society for the most part, except for people that are trying to sell you something, that as you get older, things hurt, you feel bad, and you're tired. So it's just a normal day. I'm literally talking in my head instead of talking to you guys. I was just talking about what I packed for lunch. Again, a kiwi. Kiwis are actually pretty good. They say they tossed. Yeah, it was a mini stroke. Anyway, I don't know who they are, but they say that. Who are they? Must have read it on the internet, but they say that kiwis taste like strawberries. They look like strawberries, but they're green. They don't look like strawberries. They look like strawberries on the inside, but they're green. If they were red, they'd look a lot more like strawberries. They say they taste like strawberries. I guess that's true. They have a very similar consistency to strawberries. If you don't peel them, there's a very nice bitter taste as you bite through the skin. Chew that up. Whoa! So it's 33 degrees outside, and there's black ice. So that's exciting. So stay tuned. We may go slipping and a sliding. That explains why the guy was doing the speed limit. And that probably explains the little snowflake on my dashboard. That was a place where I would not have expected black ice. It was like the crest of a hill. But it was slickery. Jostled my lunch. You heard my lunch being jostled in the back seat. Early morning driving makes it very difficult to spot black ice. So if you're out there, be careful. Like my car was trying to go full sideways. That was crazy. It was at the crest of a hill with a slight turn. So once you lose traction, like you're no longer turning, you continue to go in the direction that the momentum is pushing in. I'll draw a graph. So you're going around a curve. If you suddenly lose traction, you don't go around the curve anymore. You take off in a straight line, tangential, tangent. That doesn't sound right. Tangential? If the curve was a circle, the point at which you lose traction, you create a line which is tangent to that circle. That's the direction your car will go in. Did I mention that I'm tired this morning? I may have glossed over that. Tangent. That's going to drive me crazy. So I'm looking forward to the Dunkin' Donuts. That would be my next stop. Apparently I get on the road right around the exact time that Mickey D's, so informal, right around the time McDonald's opens. So the fact that I left on time today, my on time, which is early, means that they weren't open yet. That's why I didn't get a McDonald's coffee. Hopefully, I'm not too early for Dunkin' Donuts coffee, because clearly I could use it. Like, it feels like there should be an S and another hard consonant sound in there somewhere. Tangential. Damn, that sounds wrong. The deer crossing, they often put a picture of a deer crossing, but when you go to a school bus crossing, they never have a picture of a school bus gracefully leaping across the road. Why is that? Why do they not think we know what a deer looks like and just assume we know what a school bus looks like? It's probably part of Big Yellow. They, in order to sell more yellow paint, they don't put a bus on the sign. Because, like in the deer crossing sign, the little deer is made up of the negative space where the yellow paint isn't. I say that, but in reality, it's probably a black decal they put black decal they put over the yellow. I am going to have to get a software update. They put over the yellow paint, so it's the same amount of paint whether they put the bus on there or the deer. Ooh, there's someone at the window. That means McDonald's. When is, god damn it. Well, Dunkin' Donuts is probably open. I should go back to bed. Our darkest brew yet, Dunkin' Midnight. What is that? What is that? I might ask out the window. Hi, could I get a large black coffee, and do you have old-fashioned donuts?
Yeah.
All right, and that.
Where?
All right. Let me roll this up so other people can't hear me. Mr. Urban. I'm thinking maybe I need the sugar rush from a donut. Clearly not myself this morning. I know I already said I was a little bit out of sorts. I've been fighting a thing, and it's almost the weekend, so it's once I get out of work, it'll probably hit me like a ton of bricks. I think it was Monday. This week. I was sick for like an hour on my way to work. It built up. It hit me really hard just before I got to work. Cold, clammy, and it passed in about an hour. But this time it feels like it's winding up for a punch. If I haven't said already, I would avoid this video. Good morning. Thank you very much. You too. So pleasant. So round, so firm, so fully packed. How's my hand wet? Where's your head at? Yeah, I definitely would advise against watching this whole video. My language center isn't fully functioning. Again, I got nothing. Most days I have nothing, but today it's really forced. I actually want to sit here in silence because I don't feel well. My milkshakes bring all the boys to the yard. Ugh. Hand sanitizer. Ugh, it's like, so I keep hand sanitizer in my car, and ew, I guess due to the wear and tear of the chicken's ass, due to temperature changes, it tends to leak. It's got a cap, and it leaks into the that whole cap area. So, like, I go to get my hand sanitizer, and it's already like icky. It's gross. So there you have it. That's how you bring peace overseas. Is those 3 simple steps. Ice. Made it through that one without slipping in a slide. It's too noisy. Turn down the fan, and then you can truly appreciate the road noise. In a previous video, we talked about welcome to NPR. In a previous video, we talked about getting equipment, and I wonder if you can. I'm sure you can. I don't know if you can do it in the software I have. Like, I've got DaVinci Resolve, which is free software. I haven't. I've been moving. What a nightmare. So yeah, a lot of black ice out here. Jesus. I wonder if DaVinci Resolve has the capacity for scrubbing a video of background noise, meaning like there's sound canceling microphones, things like there's sound canceling headphones, but there's microphones that will only pick up on your voice, and they will kind of eliminate all the background noise. The iPhone itself is actually pretty good at that. I got to rewatch the videos. To me, the ambient sounds, the sound of the fan, it's still too high. The sound, I don't have this one circulating internal air. That's someone's burning wood for heat, I guess. I don't know why they're burning wood. Maybe they don't like their house. There was talk about getting better equipment for the trip. I don't know why there was talk. You can imagine who the talk was with. It was with either the subscriber or the mysterious other buddy that I often mention in these videos. I always allude to an audience that doesn't exist, and the subscriber on more than one occasion has asked, "Who the hell are you talking to?" I think that's hilarious when he asks that. There was probably 2 things I was talking about there, and don't get your hopes up. I'm not going to remember the other thing that I started. If you mention it in the comments, I'll make it part of another video, but trust me, whatever it was is probably gone at this point. Oh, I have a donut. There's an old-fashioned, which is what this is, and there's a Dunkin' Donut, which I think is this, but with a handle. I believe they're the same donut. A Dunkin' Donut might have a glaze on it. This one appears to have a glaze on it. That's just dirty. Tastes like sawdust. something, or when they tell me I shouldn't do something, it makes me want to do it more. But only to a point. Like, there are certain things, no matter how much you tell me not to do it, I won't do it. I will completely follow your instructions. Like, don't start a land war in Asia. I won't. You don't have to tell me not to. It's just something I'm not going to do. I just don't have the wherewithal. This was rubbing up against powdered donuts. I'm not complaining, although it might have sounded like that with the tone in my voice. Just oddly surprised. I shouldn't be surprised. I can see the back of the donut in the monitor here. Another thing that I still find very surprising is the fact that these morning videos are 3 times the size of the afternoon videos. Essentially the same length of time videoing, but the afternoon video is 8 something, and these tend to be 22 something or 24 something. So I don't know if I finished the thought earlier, but yesterday, transferring yesterday's, I'm not even 100% sure I got the afternoon video off this phone yesterday. It was such a nightmare. That whole thing. I need a better method for getting these files from my phone to my desktop, because I was going to do, like, in order to catch up at a reasonable pace, because it takes about a half an hour to transfer the files from the phone. Each file, like the morning drive and the afternoon drive, takes about a half an hour to transfer those files from when I can do it. Like, this is just the transfer time, not all the time spent unplugging and plugging in the phone multiple times. Like, and I don't understand how that works. That's the one thing that drives me crazy. That's the fix. What is going on up there? I didn't listen to the traffic this time. You don't listen to the traffic, and you rolls the dice, and you takes your chances. But that's the fix. The fix is, and I read this once, so I remember reading this once. That's why I was doing it. That if the computer's not recognizing the phone, blah blah blah, unplug it and plug it back in. And why does that work? Why does unplugging the phone and plugging it back in on the second or third time work? And then it recognizes it long enough to transfer one file, and then you try to transfer another file, and then the connected device is not working properly. What is that nonsense? No, really, in the comments, tell me what that nonsense is. Pardon me for talking with my mouth, food in my mouth. It seems like there should be a different word. This shouldn't be, this isn't food. This isn't vital to my survival. Or is it? You decide. That reminds me, nobody won the, this time it's Powerball, not Mega Millions. Nobody won the $500,000, so now it's like more than $500,000. 500,000 and a bit, and the drawing, I believe, is Saturday. I don't have a ticket. I will probably buy a ticket. If I win, I will probably retire because I will have reached the amount of money that I need in order to retire comfortably. The downside, or the upside, depending on which side of the fence you're on, there's a lot of people on a specific side of this upcoming fence. I probably won't be able to do these specific videos anymore if I retire because I won't be getting up this early to drive to work anymore. The ratio of me sleeping in to me getting up early and driving to work will definitely shift in the other direction. I'll probably graph it. I'll keep the channel going long enough just so I can graph certain things that changed in my life when I won $500 million. The sudden spike in sleeping in. That's all I can think of. Nothing else in my life will change. I'll sleep in more. I don't know if I'll retire right away. I might continue to work and just push for that one more remote day a week. Because when I explained before, when I get to work remote, I can literally get 2 extra hours of sleep and still get to work early. Which is nice. I should have got 2. No, I shouldn't have. So there's an inordinate amount of traffic heading into Philadelphia this morning. I'm on the back roads. Ice. I'm on ice. I'm on the back roads. That might explain it, though. The fact that I keep screaming ice as I drive over ice. It might be that there's not an inordinate, I say an inordinate amount of times, but there's an inordinate amount of traffic, but it might not be. It might just be the same traffic going slower and bunching up. Because as a part of traffic, I gotta tell you, we love to clump. We're some clumping mofos. Speaking as an Irish wristwatch. How do you say the name of that steak sauce? Like, people pronounce it different ways. Like some people add, I think some people add like extra syllables to it. I mean, I just say A1 steak sauce. No, I'm kidding. Is it Worcestershire or is it Worcestershire? Some people say slap your sister sauce, which I think is hilarious. I think it's pronounced Worcestershire, but if you read it, it's like Worcestershire, Worcest. So how do you say it? Don't type it, because that doesn't tell me anything. Just like do a video reply. Not you. All the days, this would be the perfect day to do the pink gorilla joke, because I could literally just go shut my brain down and go into autopilot with that one. I'm probably never going to tell you the joke. There is a pink gorilla joke, and if you tell it right, it takes about a half an hour to tell the joke. Which is perfect for days like today, where I am completely barren of content. I can't think of anything to say. I'm glad that it's Friday. I don't want this to seem negative. I am just tired, and that's how it comes across when I'm tired. Why are you tired? Because I didn't get enough sleep. I think that's the reason. You should go to bed at a reasonable hour. It's none of your goddamn business. Actually, I did. I am surprised that I am surprised at how tired I am. Sorry, I don't know where I went just there. Since I got that door, I have had 0 break-ins. I have no idea. That wasn't it. There was something cross-firing on all pistons. I keep reminding myself of other things completely unrelated to what I'm talking about and or thinking about. So, like I said, the roads are pretty treacherous today. I'm glad it's a Friday. I need a nap. I still have to get up early tomorrow, but not early in a way that is meaningful to me. I get to sleep in for a couple extra hours. I have to take my my Zoom into the dealership for an oil change and thing. Yeah, I'm one of those idiots that takes their car to the dealership for an oil change. What are you gonna do? You want to fight me? But yeah, I take my car to the dealership for that kind of stuff because I am a Moran. But so anyway, live with it. That's what I do. But there's a few issues. If you follow this channel at all, you know that my tires are about I want to say potato. No, I want to say they're about 3 pounds under inflated. Let me go check. They are, yes, every single one of them is anywhere between 1 and 5 pounds underinflated, to the point where it's just under that hairy edge. And the video console thingy is telling me that your airs are ever so slightly underinflated. You might consider getting them filled. To which I reply, yeah, I'm going to talk about that every day until it happens. It's like free content. It gives me something. No, I thought about doing it, but now, since I'm so close to going to the dealership, one of the things they offer is a 2-point inspection when they do an oil change. So, or 3, maybe 37, 45, I don't know. Some number of points inspection when they do the car, which includes checking the tire pressure, the windshield wiper fluid, and various other accoutrements, other stuff that I don't know, that needs to be checked. That's a lot of things to check on a car. Holy crap. I feel like if there's that much stuff they check when you're in there, I'm assuming that's stuff that you're supposed to be checking being a car owner. And I think it's like, I want to say 21. I don't know what the number of points is, but whoa, it's more than 10. My foot just slid from the brake to the gas. So let's just pretend the number is 21. I'll find out what the number is later and then not remember to tell you. But let's say they do a 21-point inspection after they change your oil. Like, well, this is like a safety. Like, am I supposed to be doing this? Like, what in the world? What are these things that they're checking? Like, I only, like, as a driver, usually I'm just concerned about, like, the tires, the oil, and the windshield wiper fluid. I don't really check anything else. Am I supposed to be, like, going over my car with a fine-tooth comb a couple times a month? Expect delays. Road work ahead. I'm trying to remember the actresses' names from not Predator, Aliens, and the Terminator, the two lead heroines. I sometimes ask on Facebook who would win in a fight, like, you know, not Ripley versus whatever the name is, like the actual character, not the fictional characters, but the actual people. Like if they were in a, because they're both relatively fit, I think. What were the two movies I was talking about? Terminator and Aliens, right? They're both fit. They're both wiry. But now that I think about it, I want to throw Sandra Bullock into the mix. But I got to think which Sandra Bullock. Is it like modern day Sandra Bullock? Is it Miss Congeniality Sandra Bullock? Bird Box Sandra Bullock? I don't know. But anyway, a Sandra Bullock thrown into the mix with a lead actress from Terminator and the one from Aliens, like bare knuckles boxing match, no holds barred. Who would win? Again, the actual people, not the fictional characters they play. I used to be in a fantasy baseball league. Man, if you like boring, not a fantasy baseball league. I'm saying that wrong. It was a fantasy baseball game, but it wasn't based on actual baseball. You had so the guy who ran it, he would go from house to house, like it wasn't even a card game. I don't even know how to describe it, but I think there might have been dice involved. But you would play a season. You would pick your players. It was based on, like, I think it was based on actual baseball cards. So you would pick your lineup, and you could pick anybody, and you could pick them from any year. So you would pick your players, and then there would, based on the stats of the player, there would be a statistical thing that you would figure out, and then you would play against another team in front of the commissioner, and the commissioner was the fella that was going from house to house, forcing people to play the game. So he would show up, and then you would play. I think you would play an entire season, or you would play. God, I hope it wasn't one game at a time. I think you would play. Let's just say you played multiple games, so you would you would literally do it all. You would do your at-bats. I'm pretty sure it was a dice-based game. Like, otherwise, like, what are you doing? It's not like an art choose your own adventure thing. It's like, what are you gonna do? I'm gonna swing at the ball. But you're the catcher. I'm gonna swing at the ball. I don't care. I don't care if I'm the catcher. That's what I want to do. If I was a catcher in Major League Baseball, I would swing at the ball every time. Jump up, steal the bat, swing at the ball. I mean, it's a timing thing. You have to time it just right, because there's very, very little time between when the pitcher is definitely committed to making the pitch and for you to wrestle the bat out of the batter's hands and then take a swing at the ball. So, like, it's something I would have to practice before I start doing it, like on live TV. But it's important, and if it's important, you find a way to do it. You make the time. How many people at home think that he has gone completely into autopilot mode and he's not even paying attention to what he's saying? Don't raise your hand, Chris. So I'm at a red light. This happens sometimes. There's a medication that you can take that'll help. It has some side effects. They're listed in this encyclopedia. Oh, I still have a red light. Fooled ya. You thought I was gonna go, and now the light's still red. Someone has a green light, it's just not me. I would have to say I didn't get good sleep last night. Also, as I alluded to, I do believe I'm fighting something. I'm not sick, but I'm not well. And it's so hot because I'm in the car with the heat on. Did you ever watch the Bugaloos when you were younger? Do you watch the Bugaloos now? What about the New Zoo Review? When I was a little kid, I used to watch the New Zoo Review, and I wondered quietly to myself, was there a zoo? Was there a zoo review before the New Zoo Review? Or did it just start off as the New Zoo Review? Kind of like in Phineas and Ferb when they went to the old abandoned amusement park. Old Abandoned twice? Yes, because it used to be the Old Abandoned Amusement Park. That was the name of it, and then it became Old and Abandoned, so it became the Old Abandoned Amusement Park. I think stuff like that's hilarious. If you've made it this far into the video, that means that you have not heeded my previous warnings. Go back, or abandon hope all ye who enter here. Hither and yon, they can be used independently of each other and they can be used together. Like, hither and yon by itself is almost a phrase, but I think if you're likely to use either hither or yon, you're likely to use both. Like, I don't think you have one in your lexicon and you don't have the other. You either say hither and yon for various things, or you don't use either. Like it's either they're both they're both in rotation or neither is in rotation. I don't think many people go around. I mean, if I had to pick one that is more likely to be in someone's vocabulary versus the other, hither is definitely my vote. This is based on zero research. I don't even know what I'm talking about. But based on zero research, my wild ass guess is if you had to have one of these in your vocabulary, only one, you have hither. You don't have yon. I think you would be hard pressed to find someone who used the word yon but did not use the word hither. But I think it's more likely that if you do use hither, you definitely, or almost definitely, also use the word yon. I think if you know both probably the only love that the word Jan gets is just after hither. Not just after hither. There might be an and, but hither and Jan. I think that's probably the only time you use Jan, if you use Jan. Again, based on zero research, not even paying attention to what I'm saying, I might not even believe what I just said. I think I went to school with a guy named Jan. No, I didn't. It was, well, I might have, but that's not the guy I was thinking of. I was thinking of John. But his last name was Hong. John Hong. I don't think his real first name was John, now that I think about it. I think he was pulling the wool over our eyes. Why would his first name be John? If you hadn't guessed, because his last name is Hong, clearly he was Polish. No, he was of Asian descent. I was really good friends with him in middle school. I wonder whatever happened to John. I bet his name's not John. I also went to school with one of those people I was talking about the other day. One of those people, you know. First name, last name, start with the same letter. Oh, those people. He moved to Phoenix. Yeah, he moved to Phoenix. Like, from Philadelphia, he moved to Phoenix as a teenager. Who does that? Not by himself. His parents moved to Phoenix. It was a package deal. Like, you move to Phoenix, you take your kids with you. What the fuck am I looking at? No idea. We won't talk about it. Jeez Louise, we're 48 minutes into this drive and I did not break it into chunklets. I apologize to the viewer at home. You shouldn't have been watching the whole time. I warned you multiple times not to watch this video. You've done it to yourself. Everything that happens after this moment is completely your fault. You've been warned. I say it's completely your fault, but I'm also the guy that says there's no such thing as free will. So, you decide. I keep saying I'm going to ask my boss if I can have an additional remote day to catch up with some of the sleep that everybody's been talking about. But I also know that you can't catch up on sleep. My mother told me that, and I had no idea what she meant, but she was absolutely right. hunched over, leaning forward, because I'm rubbing my leg. My leg doesn't hurt. So why are you rubbing it? I don't know. Black ice. Like it's a thing to try to keep me awake. Actually, it doesn't. It doesn't hurt, but it's a little numb. I can't remember the rest of the words. I remember it's yep, drawing a blank. It's a song Numb by some band. Let's try some of that coffee. See what happens. Smells like coffee. Tastes like nothing. Oh no. Do I have that vintage? Do I have that vintage virus that was going around a couple of years ago? That would explain the donut tasting like sawdust, but I did taste the powdered donut, so. I like hubcaps. First time I saw Phineas and Ferb was when I was on vacation. I don't remember if it was Florida or California, but we were in a hotel room, and the TV was on. We weren't watching the TV, but the TV was on, and the show Phineas and Ferb was on, and Candace said, "I know Phineas and Ferb are behind all of this," and she's like, "There's like the scenery in the background, and literally they lift up the sky like it's a shade, and it's Phineas and Ferb standing there for a split second, and they pull it back down." And you know, that's where my humor lives. That I just thought that was hilarious. And when I got back to Earth, I had to find the show, and like I was like addicted to Phineas and Ferb for years. There's a couple of movies, like my daughter, we got her hooked on Phineas and Ferb. She wanted to watch Phineas and Ferb. She always wanted to watch the dark one, which was the movie where Doofenshmirtz, like, I don't know, he just tries to take over the world. But she always called it Phineas and Ferb the dark one, which was the movie. But I definitely liked Phineas and Ferb a lot more than my daughter did. Good coffee. Good coffee, good coffee. Paw? Paw? No, paw. Paw! I don't think I've ever seen a full episode of Cat Dog or whatever it's called. Fairly Odd Parents, I don't really think I've ever seen an episode of that. Powerpuff Girls, I've seen a lot of episodes of that. That's it's a surprisingly okay show. If no, they don't. Problem solved. All right, go. Do you know what the fear of the number 13 is? The medical name. Is it the medical name? What the fear of? It's tristodectophobia. It's like a fun word to say. It's I have a favorite word in Pig Latin too, and I don't know why. Lifestyles, the rich and famous. My favorite word in Pig Latin is homework. Omhe Urque. I don't know why. I just like the way it sounds. And it's important to have a favorite word in every language. Does Pig Latin qualify as a language, or is it more of a code or a cipher? I feel like it's a cipher. Guy just blew through a red light. Oh, you're in trouble. Remember, kids, snitches get stitches because they're bitches. Stay out of school. Coming up on an hour. I'm not going to do a sign off. I've already missed 2. You shouldn't even be watching this. Go to bed. Actually, if you are watching this, it's probably mid-afternoon, so go to bed anyway. You're home. You're probably tired. Take a nap. It'll do you wonders. It's going to be difficult because the sun's out and you don't have blackout curtains, so grab yourself a glass of milk and microwave it. I don't care if you're lactose intolerant. Grab yourself a glass of milk, microwave it for like about a minute, depending on the size of the glass you pour yourself. Put some nutmeg in there. Drink, stir it first, blow on it, then drink it. That might help. You might be able to get some sleep then. If you're driving right now, don't do any of those things. If you're driving, just fire up that deep fryer you've got hooked to the inverter under the passenger seat and just make yourself some hush puppies. And try not to hit the brakes too hard. Crap, I forgot to talk to my wife about that thing last night. Sons of bitches. I'll remember to talk to her about today. So within the next 10 seconds, we'll be breaching the 1 hour mark. If you've lasted this long, I salute you. If Rob Bass was telling the truth when he said, "I'm not internationally known," because I thought he was pretty famous at that point. there's a completely separate dialogue going on in my head of things I can't say out loud. It's amazing I still have the filter. I'm not unable to say them out loud. I just know it would be not in the best interests of all those involved for me. What is he doing? What is he doing? Oh, there's a road there. Huh. Huh. I like Groundhog Day too. It's I don't know if this is a separate conversation. It might have been one. I think I've talked about multiple times during these videos. Comfort movies, comfort books, things like that. Recently, I was talking about them as well. But Groundhog Day is another one I kind of like. It's weird. It's not a joke, although it sounds funny. It's like when you watch it, you feel like when you go to watch it again, you feel like you've watched it a bunch of times already. But that's just the nature of the movie. So just so you kids know, it doesn't have to be below freezing to have black ice on the road. Pardon me. So I guess what I'm really trying to say is, what I really hate is when people go onto YouTube or Facebook, they create these reels, they create these entire business models out of telling you how to get fit, how to burn calories, and they market it to not just their demographic, but to people who are significantly older. And the reason I hate that is because a 20-year-old's body is not the same as a 40, 50, 60, 70-year-old's body. The same things don't work. When you're younger, it's your metabolism is off the hook. So anything you think you've learned in the couple of moments that you've been a semi-adult does not translate to the rest of your life. Your body does not behave the same way when you're 50 that it did when you were 20. I want to see some grizzled middle-aged man up there just barking like just horrible. Like, it's just market it as weight loss, reasonable weight loss and body management for, but then don't even do that. Just have some grizzled middle-aged man just screaming ridiculously antiquated things having nothing to do with body improvement, just being a dinosaur and like wishing things were the way they used to be. See, this is the kind of stuff that's funny to me and me only. I was really just, the entire morning, I was looking for an opportunity to use the word grizzled. What the hell does that word even mean? We know, by saying it, you know what I mean. You have a picture in your eye. In your mind. I'm so fucking tired. In your mind's eye. Grizzled. hitting the manic portion of the morning. Just another manic Friday. Whoa. This is like step 7. Accepting my fate, accepting that I'm about to be in work. Unbeknownst to Speed, this channel has actually become just a forum for me to watch my beard grow. Pretty sure when I started this channel I didn't have a beard, and I think I was shaving. I didn't stop shaving. I just shave, my nipples and the bottoms of my feet now. I already told this story, and I got a minute to kill. So, back in the dark ages when I was younger, I absolutely had to tell this story. I'm gonna tell it again, because I have very, very little viewership, and the viewership that I do have, they're crazy if they watch entire videos, so I know they fast forward. So they'll either miss this one, because I've warned them multiple times not to watch this video in its entirety, because there's absolutely nothing, more nothing than normal. But if I did tell the story, I only told it once, and it was in confidence, and hopefully you guys didn't tell anybody. Caillou. Why is he bald? Anyway, I think it was my girlfriend at the time. So my ex-girlfriend and my wife, they're the same person. Now, my ex-girlfriend dumped me. Her girlfriend picked me up, and we're married now. She scooped me up. She saw me crumpled to the side of the road, and she said, "Oh, someone threw out a perfectly good white boy." And she picked me up and took me home. And the end. So many moons ago, when my girlfriend was still my girlfriend and my wife was her friend, I was telling my girl, I love telling fake stories. Sometimes they make it back to me, and that's the dream. Like hearing your own fake story come back to you, makes you feel like a meme lord. It's wonderful. So many moons ago, I told my girlfriend in proximity to my current wife about the song Star Trekkin' by The Firm. And like what follows is complete fabrication, and it doesn't even make sense if you follow conventional timeline. I said that Star Trekkin' by The Firm was going to be the original soundtrack to Star Trek. It was originally meant to be a comedy. They originally had cast Leonard Nimoy as the captain, and it was supposed to be a situational comedy set in space. None of this is true. I told her this, and since the song exists, like as long as there's a nugget of truth in your story, and you lean on that pretty heavy, people just believe the rest of it. It's a wonderful thing. People are fantastically entertaining in that respect. So I don't know. I should have let that guy in, but I didn't, because I'm a jerk. I didn't mean to be a jerk. I just really couldn't gather what was happening. So there you have it. So I told her that Star Trekkin' was the original theme that they were going to use for Star Trek. It was going to be a situational comedy set in space. Obviously, Star Trek and by the Firm didn't come out until years after the original Star Trek ended airing. Anyway, at some point, years later, I guess the story was going around, and my wife, who had heard it directly from me but forgot that, because I wasn't telling her directly, I was telling her friend Diana the story, as I often do. Like, if you hadn't guessed, I tend to be verbose. I go on at length about just nothing. I'll just talk. I'll talk and talk and talk. Said curse. I've been that way since I was a kid. One of my elementary school teachers had a nervous breakdown because I wouldn't stop talking. Her name was Miss Giuliano. Literally in tears in front of my parents. I felt so bad. I didn't realize I was doing anything wrong. I was just an out of control child. So anyway, years later, either my wife had heard the song, or someone had recently told her that story that I was spreading about Star Trek, and she tells me, like almost verbatim, the story that I had told my ex-girlfriend years ago about the Star Trek and being the original theme song to Star Trek, situation comedy, blah blah blah. And I just started laughing. It's like, that's me. I started that story. That's not true. That's fake. You can pick that apart on so many levels. There's absolutely no possibility that is true. The song didn't even come out until after the show was over. So I really liked that. It made my heart happy that I had misinformed the masses so well. I actually have a blog. I forgot about that. I gotta go dig up that blog. Misinforming the masses. Huh. Wonder when the last time I posted to that was. I wonder if I could even access it. Who knows? I guess I'll know later tonight if I remember. I'm really tired. I'm not going to remember any of this. God, wouldn't it be horrible if I went through this entire trip and it turns out this is just a fever dream? Like, I'm actually sicker than I think I am, like laying in bed, tossing and turning and like monologuing as I do every morning now. And the other day, Saturday, so I had to get up early. I had to work Saturday, so I had to go into work. I do this on my way to work, and I did it that Saturday as well. And I don't know if I mentioned this on my ride home, but when I got into work, I continued to do my internal monologue on the outside, and for a good 10 minutes I was talking to myself as I walked around work, because I got into the habit. I'd been talking for like an hour straight to the camera, so it's like I never turned it off. I turned off the camera, I got it out of the car, and I just started. I was going. I realized it. I'm like, oh shit. And there were people in the building, so hopefully it didn't look like too much of a nut job, any more than normal, hopefully. See, if I'd broken it into 20-minute segments, this would have been a chunklet lit. This would have been a small, well, not too small, but it would have been like 16 minutes instead of the full 20 minutes. And you wouldn't have had to eat the whole thing in one sitting. But there you have it. So anyway, I'm relatively close to work. I survived my trip, even though I'm very tired, and it's black icy out here today. I forgot again. So right in front of me, I'm in Philadelphia, so this goes counter to my point, but it's a vanity plate, a really interesting one. I can't tell you what it says, but it's an animal, a bird, and then the number 5. So that's neat. Anyway, have a wonderful day.